They can hear me, and they can hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome, folks, to episode 211 of the HAC JAC Show. I'm the genuinely beautiful and moronic hack.
And I am your favorite VTuber, Jack.
And tonight, folks, we have a few topics. I have a few topics. I should correct myself. Not we. There is no we in this duo. There's only me. I go everything by what I say. I control the narrative. Nah, I kid. No, but there is a handful. There is a small amount of topics that I will be bringing up to this for today's episode. One pretty short, and another that. Well, we'll see how it goes. Hello, Ghetto. I see you in the in the chat. Hopefully you were waiting for. Hopefully you're watching the pre-stream, because I'm gonna try to tempt fate. Because I've been mostly putting like OC remixes for the pre-stream music. I'm gonna tempt fate and actually just put in licensed music and just see what happens.
Oh, we'll be fine. I
Yeah,
put licensed music all the time, and all I
yeah.
get was certain muted audio.
Exactly. And in this case, today's episode was opened by Banned in DC by Bad Brains, a punk band that Ghetto introduced to me. And when I say punk, I mean punk. So if you're into that, check them out. I do want to start off actually. I have an update for a news story that I shared many moons ago. Also hello Johnny. Everyone making their jokes. So I'll have an update of a news story that I shared back in November of last year, in which I gave I didn't really give a eulogy, but I opined about the closure of Game Informer magazine. Well, we'll have an update to that, Jack. They have resurrected. They set up all their meter, and like Gil, they spend it all resurrected, and Game Informer is officially returned. As of now. The news of it was actually kind of under the radar. I actually had to like do some digging to actually see if this was real. But yes, Game Informer magazine will be coming back very soon. Right now they're in their they're still in the rebuilding process, but the only thing you can do if you're interested in their publication is you can go to their website, sign up for the account, and you can actually have access to for most of their previous magazine catalog, like dates back all the way to 2012. So they have archived majority of their magazines within the past 10 years. And I remember checking that out, and man, it was so weird to think that Halo 4 was 10 years ago.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Has it?
Yep.
Oh, I can feel my bones creaking.
Yep. And Jack, do you remember which console Halo 4 was for?
It was in between for 360 and the Halo Xbox One.
Exactly. But you can still play that game on the 360. I don't know why you would want, but you can.
Hey. I bought it for the 360 and I regretted it because it was kind of a mid game, to be honest.
I only associate that game with that one cutscene. You know the one I'm talking about. Which fun fact? This is for Ghetto in the audience. Fun fact: did you know Luke Cage is in that game? I believe he plays one of the Spartans that's hunting down Master Chief. And
Locke?
No, not Locke.
He plays as Locke? Oh.
No, not.
There's.
Well, remember, there's like
Buck.
There's those group of Spartans that are. You could correct me. There's that group of Spartans. I forget if they're trying to hunt Locke or hunt Master Chief, but there's not Locke or Master Chief.
There's Blue Team, and then there is Locke's team.
Okay, which team of them has the big black guy? Come on, you're the Halo man over here. Come on, Mr. Halo man, you don't remember which team had the big black guy?
I don't. Is it Samuel? Hold on. No, it's not Samuel.
All right. Jack is proud to announce that he's gonna do a live stream of Halo 4 so he can remember what the heck happened in that game.
No, the only one I could think of is Kurt, but he's not. No.
No, like I said, time to stream
it. Has
it.
to be Locke's team.
Go to Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/JustJackVT to see him play Halo 4 through the Master Chief collection.
Oh wait, no, it isn't Locke's team. Wait, no, Locke is the only black guy in this team, so it has to be Locke.
Wait, Locke is black?
Yes.
I sincerely thought he was a white guy underneath.
No, he's Jameson Locke. That's his name. He's the main dude that's trying to arrest Chief.
Huh. I don't know why I never put two and two together.
I was like even thinking to myself, there's a second black guy.
I wasn't. All I remember is just the the actor Luke Cage because they just put his exact face in the game. I didn't realize that was supposed to be Locke. You know,
Because I was like,
well,
wait, blue team is all like white people.
I think we all learned something today.
I evaded it. I evaded having to purchase Halo 4 on my Xbox or my account for PC.
Hold on, I'm going to double check here. I'm on the
Oh.
cast and crew. Let's see. Where is Locke? Where are you? Where are you? Whoa, what the heck? So am I? Yeah, I'm on Halo 4. So where are the?
You could just type in Spartan Locke. Maybe that'll help.
Okay,
because...
so the Steve Downs Master Chief. There he is. Now Locke, where are you? Where are you? Hey, he's not. Dang, he's not even top billing.
Easy come, easy go. He was literally.
What that? No, I literally can't see his like. Unless did he go by another name?
No,
wait, hold on. Isn't Locke in Halo 5?
No, he's in 4.
Wait, I'm confusing myself. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I'm talking about the wrong. No. I think I'm talking about the wrong Halo game.
Oh wait, no.
I think we're both talking about the wrong Halo game.
You're right. 4 is literally Chief stranded in some godforsaken Promethean place. Halo 5 is the one.
Yeah, that's the one they're hunting down Master Chief. That's I confuse Halo 4 and 5.
You see how annoying okay. You see how annoying these games are? Or at least like tell me about 1, 2, 3, or Reach. I'll tell you everything down to the lore. Ask me about 4 and 5, they kind of blur together to me because 5 I've never played. I've only watched because I refused to buy it. 4 I played, and the story's kind of mid because of the fact that the boss that's been hyped up for this whole game, you end up quote unquote beating him with a grenade, which apparently you don't beat him because he comes back in a comic, and then in the comic, Chief has to beat him. Chief kills the Didact by throwing a piece of the ring onto the Didact.
So what you're saying is everything was for nothing.
Exactly.
All right, now, okay. So I'm trying to figure out. So the Luke Cage actor, that's a Mr. Mike Coulter. That's his name. Because I knew I saw him in something Halo, and I realized what it is. So he did play Locke in the Halo Nightfall miniseries.
Okay, that explains it because I was like looking at Locke. I'm like, he doesn't really look that much like him, but I mean, I guess.
Yeah. So I don't know what I thought he was like in the actual games, but no, he's in like other media. So, but I did make the wait. I think but yeah, it was around the same era of the Halo 4 and 5. I could have sworn.
Oh, Johnny, you wanna?
I swear he was in one of the games. Oh well, it's not
Johnny,
important.
do you want to talk about abandoned game storylines? Let's talk about 5. Let's talk about Halo 5. You know the freaking ending with Halo 5? It's basically Cortana going, "Yeah, I'm gonna be leader of the galaxy now," being rampant, and then she throws out like these big owl-like sentinels that are just like gonna be governing everything, EMPs every single civilization to God knows what, and apparently there is an AI war where now a lot of AI, the AIs that were all part of the UNSC decide to work with Cortana, except for a few. And then from all of that, you skip all of it. And Halo Infinite, you basically do not get any context what happened with all of that in Halo Infinite. In Halo Infinite, all you get is, oh yeah, we killed Cortana. Yeah, she's dead. Hey, look at this new guy.
343 Studios, am I right? Making good games.
343 is gone.
Oh, that's right.
They're
Aren't they just called Halo Studios or whatever? What are they called?
yes. They switched over to a new name, Halo Studios. Let's see how Halo Studios goes because I think all of 343 people are like completely gone from it.
Bungie's gone. 343's gone. It's literally just your whole entire studio is just for one series and one series only. And even then, they're stuck trying to put Infinite on life support. Like, and no one's clamoring for a Halo 6 or a Halo
literally
7.
Halo has become Gears of War. You remember how hyped people were for Gears of War?
Yeah, especially
then,
the first 3 games.
Yeah, and then what happened after those 3 games?
They made a prequel with Judgment that people thought was kind of meh. And then they made Gears of War 4, which was, I think it was a launch game for the Xbox One. People were kind of miffed because it was like a whole new cast, and everyone's like, I want Marcus Phoenix, I want Dom.
Yep.
And then
they killed Dom.
And then Gears 5 was like, all right, you can have Marcus Phoenix back, and he's all old and sad.
Yep, and then now we have John Halo getting freaky with the elites. Apparently, I haven't seen the actual thing. I only hear it from friends, and I'm just like, I'm refusing to watch this. When I had the freaking Paramount subscription, I refused to watch the Halo series. It was there. It was recommended to me. I'm like, nope, not watching it.
Nope, gotta do my 5th rewatch of Sonic 3.
I will watch trash. I would watch trash. I watched trash anime. I even watched the Harley Quinn show for like a season or 2.
Dude, come on.
But I refuse to watch
I thought better
John Halo getting freaky with an elite.
Oh man. Being a Halo fan, you know what? You know what? At least you got some old games to go back to and go, better days.
Yep, at least I can do a fresh start of the first trilogy and its spin-offs in a cursed mod. I love, we need to play cursed mod Halo one day. Go back again, play the whole like
Halo 1?
It can either I think Halo 1 has a multiplayer curse mod.
Now what is this curse mod?
We need to do that again. Basically, a lot of weapons have very interesting characteristics to them now.
Uh-huh.
The pistol has a chance. When you pick up a pistol, you might pick up a pistol with the barrel pointing towards you.
Okay.
So you end up having to throw the pistol instead of actually shooting it. Your human grenades are now D20s. So whatever they roll, it gives a random effect. It can range from doing nothing to nuking a small section of the map, killing everyone in it.
I see.
Your
so this
sniper has ED.
Okay.
Minecraft weapons are now in the game. And you can now do a roundhouse kick.
Question: how does the plasma sword not have ED?
The plasma sword, you know what? That is a very good question, but at the same time, I like shooting the sniper that has ED and it goes boing boing.
Oh well, you know what? For like a one-time thing, that sounds fun. I can't imagine playing the whole campaign like that though. That would make anyone mad, especially me.
Oh, I can't because like they changed a small bit of the story. Johnson is even more unhinged than he was before. Literally, one section he goes on a whole monologue with you while he's driving.
Oh, just you know what? That won't be as crazy because then it would just be like that very awkward scene in MGSV, The Phantom Pain, where you're sitting with Skullface and he's monologuing you the entire car ride, and you're just listening. And of course, it makes it even funnier that when he finally stops, you just do ride the whole rest of the trip in silence. So you know what? I think I'll be fine with whatever. What rank is Johnson? Lieutenant?
Sergeant.
Sergeant. Yeah, Sergeant. Hoorah, hoorah to our fictional Marine. So
rest in peace.
Yeah, may he rest in peace. No, rest in power. We have to use that because he's black. He's resting in power.
Ah, true.
Whatever that means. Like, okay, side tangent. I understand I guess the word would be the platitude of saying that, but at the same time, when someone's dead, you want them to be at peace that they have lived as long as they can. How does resting in power, like, what does that do to the dead?
Because he has the power to claim peace.
Yes, the power to claim peace or vengeance. Might as well. You know what? F it for all the DC fans. Rest in power. That should be the new saying for the Black Lanterns. So every time they bring someone from the dead, instead of just doing a reverse oath of the Green Lantern, just give a dead body a black ring and go rest in power, and boom, that dead body becomes a Black Lantern. There we go. That's gonna be now it is. So to trail back to where all this came from. So yeah, Game Informer's back. We fell down the Halo hole.
I forgot about Game Informer.
Fell down the Halo hole. Oh yeah, Game Informer's back, and so I would be. You know what? Because they themselves they're now resting in power. I'm thinking. So you know what? Maybe I should give them a chance, and when they officially are making magazines again, get a magazine, being like and just enjoy the articles, as they say, and have something to read while I'm on the toilet. Other than that, I actually want to share a little bit of thoughts now that I have a play for at least for about an hour now of Fatal Fury: Seed of the Wolves. I'm not. All right.
Did you try out the DJ?
I did not try out DJ Salvatore because I actually wanted to play a character I wanted to play. So I streamed the game this past weekend over on my solo channel. Johnny was there as my witness, and first off, I have to use OBS. Well, I'm using OBS to stream on my solo channel, and I gotta mess with the bitrate settings a little bit because if you watch the replay, for some reason the video is struggling to be consistently at 60 frames. So I still not worked out the technical kinks on streaming on my end. So that's something I have to figure out, but that's not related to the game.
I can help you out later on.
Neat. As far as the game itself, number one, it is very fun to play, and you know what? If you're one of those people who you are not liking the direction that Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, and Guilty Gear Strive are in right now, which, Jack, are you aware of all the complaints those games are having at the moment within the competitive community?
Not really. What's been happening?
So here is a brief summary. I can't say much about Strive because I've barely touched that game since I got it. Street Fighter 6, pretty much everyone is very much complaining that of Drive Rush. The fact that most games your one is once you hit confirm your opponent just drive rush and just start doing your bread and butter combos with your drive rushes in order to do like 75 to 50% damage. And add on top of that, the throw loops. People are still complaining about throw loops. So,
well, just tech them.
You
would good.
You would think that would be the solution, but no, people are very much complaining about that. So that's, and of course, the lack of content and the lack of a shakeup within the meta of Street Fighter 6. So a lot of people who are playing the game are they're wanting to get something fresh out of it, and hopefully with Elena coming out in June 5th, along with some changes along with some new patches. Hopefully people will be more excited to play the game again. But as it stands, they just want to see something new going on with Street Fighter 6. Tekken 8 they're starting their second season of DLC, and in their first major update to the game, everyone in the Tekken community obliterated that patch. It was so bad that people are going back to the Steam reviews and downvoting the game substantially.
Ooh.
And it was so bad that the developers had to put in an emergency patch like a few days later.
Ouch.
Yeah. From what I understand, what everyone's complaining with Tekken 8, like the best way to describe it is that the game has become a lot more 50-50, meaning that instead of relying on good defense or fundamentals of movement to play as a proper 3D game, it's more so that if you get the hit first, then you can start putting on the big damage as you do your juggle combos. And that is what people are complaining about, because along with that, sidestepping has pretty much become useless, since everyone's attacks have whatever their weird hitbox is, they can hit people going to the side. So one important part of maneuvering in Tekken has become useless, and everyone just hits big. Everyone hits big, and if you get one lucky hit, you're pretty much kind of waiting for your opponent to finish their juggling, and by the time they're done, you have lost a majority of your health, if not got a one-hit touch of death.
Damn.
Yep. And a more smaller one, but more annoying one, is that you get damage if you tech any of King's chain throws.
What?
Yep.
So you still get punished for succeeding?
Yes.
Oh, I can understand why they're mad. Yeah, I can definitely understand. Like, imagine you're at such little health, but the king is also at little health. They grab you, you tech it, but even if you tech it, you still died because you just didn't have enough health, even though that you could have won on that tech.
Yep. And so what Tekken fans are hoping for is that the game would be fixed in terms of the meta throughout this season. And also, Anna Williams is there, but literally the changes to the meta was so bad that people weren't even talking about their newest DLC character. That's how bad it was. They didn't even care that there was a new character added to the game. That's how, and so that's going on with Tekken 8. So because of that, Fatal Fury came out at the right time, because guess what? It is a more I'm not gonna say fair and balanced, because no fighting game ever truly is, but it is a game in which there is less BS around it, and it truly is, you win or lose based on how good you are in playing the game, especially since the game has a lot of defensive mechanics aside from just defend. Like if you want to get good at the game, you're going to have to put in a considerable amount of time, even more so than like learning how to be good in KOF. Well, maybe not that much, because you have to learn to be good with 3 characters at the minimum, but is that type of dedication. At the same
Gotcha.
at the same time, casually playing it, it is still pretty fun, and it's definitely of SNK's fighting games. Though not as tricky or as difficult as their previous fighting games. So there's not that huge barrier to entry like a few of KOF games or their older arcade games where timings are more strict and you have to deal with more goofier uh, button combinations. No, they keep things pretty straightforward. The game looks visually appealing. There's a color edit mode, so everyone's having fun with all the different colors for all the characters and their costumes in the game. Which, you know what, I wish more fighting games did that. Tekken kind of has that. Well, no, they do have it, but it's not as expressive as you would like within uh, a color edit mode, like in a sprite game. So it's good to
Mhm.
it is good to see that. I have not tried the lane battles. I actually don't know where I could do that, Ghetto, unless that's a offline thing. I'll have to look to where I can do the lane battles. There is a single player mode that is basically a a a very straightforward RPG where you pick a character and you actually go through their personal story of the game. So there's not like one big narrative of all of City of the Wolves. No, you follow characters and their individual stories, and as you play, you you do these specific battles that specific conditions to them. You win them, you get EXP. It makes you have more health, makes you stronger, all that good stuff. It's a very bare bones in terms of RPG mechanics, but it but it's not doable. That's not the word I'm looking for. It is an appropriate amount because it's still a fighting at the end of the day. You're not trying to
Mhm.
play an actual RPG.
True.
Because you can do it in just one stage. Oh, okay. So there's a stage that has the lane battle. Oh, okay. I thought that would be a mode. Oh, there you go. I've not tried out all the characters. So the only character I've used thus far is Vox Reaper, because I'm just enamored with him as an antagonist, and I'm enjoying him so far. You may not be able to tell when you see me playing it because I good thing I didn't go into rank. I went to casual matches and I got my butt whooped like by every opponent I fought. I think I only won 2 rounds in 2 different fights. That's the amount of victory. So I got a lot to learn. I'm just a grasshopper over here. But I'm having fun, and I would enjoy learning the other characters, and of course playing casually with all of my friends and anyone else who owns the game. So that's my short little review impression of the game. Oh, and the online, very solid, works. I was able to get matches in like within 10 seconds of each fight. So the online is actually the best online experience SNK has delivered in the game thus far. They finally figured it out, Jack. They finally figured it out.
Hey, finally.
I think the only thing that you can really critique is that the UI is kind of weird.
Mhm.
It's not too intuitive, and for some reason, they want you to use a cursor for whenever you do a lot of things, and it's not like a cursor you can use with a mouse. You have to move a cursor with a stick, and I don't see the reason why they need to do that. But
Ugh.
yeah, it's like it's just a weird design choice, but and hopefully they can make that experience smoother, or maybe just you can use your actual mouse in the PC version. But yeah, it's just weird. I don't know why they did that instead of just like every other fighting game where you're just going through little menu tabs or menu boxes. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I more likely will be streaming more of the game on my personal channel, for fun, and hopefully I get better at the game so they'll be more enjoyable for anyone who wants to watch. So that's what I have to share on Fatal Fury City of the wolves. How would you say that in Spanish?
Uh
Ciudad de los Lobos?
oh yeah. I thought you meant the Fatal Fury part. I was gonna about to be like, furor, but that's a
No,
furry.
no, just just the subtitle. That's just the subtitle. Fatal Fury is Fatal Fury in every country you go to. That's
Okay.
that's the secret ingredient. That's
Ciudad de los Lobos.
es Ciudad de los Lobos. Ay, en Telemundo. I would watch
Ahora en Telemundo.
Daddy
Fatal Fury.
Daddy,
Ciudad de los Mundos.
Daddy Borgard. You rock Howard. I would totally watch it.
Oye, come on.
I would totally watch a Fatal Fury, a Spanish soap opera, Fatal Fury. I would totally watch it. I would watch it day one. It will be just like watching a CW show, except with prettier men and women. And I'll make my grandma will watch it with me, not knowing it's about a video game. Oh. On to the next thing. I actually. I shared this before, but I gifted my brother PS3 this past Christmas, and gave it to him so he can play Metal Gear Solid 4 because he doesn't want to wait until that game is properly ported into modern systems. So it was relatively inexpensive to get the console controller and for him to play it. And because of that means I have a PS3. I've already gotten 2 games for myself for it. I got in Ninja Gaiden Sigma and Final Fantasy 13. And I'm actually and I actually really want to give that game an honest try because looking back, I need to know if all those complaints from back then actually hold up. Like I honestly want to know if all those YouTubers were right about calling this a bad, not just a bad Final Fantasy game, but like a bad game. Which, I mean, I'll put it this way: just because something is popular doesn't make it good. But there has to be something of value if that game was popular enough and liked enough that it got 2 sequels of its own before there was even a Final Fantasy 14 and 15. There has to be something there aside from just everyone likes Lightning and thinks that she is so kawaii and all that.
You can remind me what were the complaints, because
from what I remember, and I encourage our audience, if you remember to let us know. I believe it is that it was too linear. Let's see, it was too linear. The overabundance of world building, and I think maybe the story itself, like the actual narrative they were saying, those were the common complaints I've noticed. That's the trend is those 3 things. As far as like the actual like combat itself, no one really has any genuine complaints about the combat.
Okay, so it is pretty linear. I will admit that. You don't really get a quote unquote open world until like midway through the game, but even then,
which I found it's a weird critique because you know what else is a Final Fantasy game that's also linear and everyone loves?
Which one?
Final Fantasy X.
I never played 10, so I can't have any input.
Well, I could tell you that 10 is just as linear as 13, and maybe there are side stuff you can do that are not that important to the main story, just other extra fun things like Blitzball and other things that I can't remember at the moment because it's been a while. But 10 is
Mhm.
a pretty later Final Fantasy game, so it's very weird that uh the 10 gets a lot of praise when it comes out. Granted, it was an early PS2 game, and 10 was like the showcase to show like what the PS2 can do, and as well, it was like a refinement of the Final Fantasy combat and a genuinely heartwarming love story between the two protagonists, so Titus and Yuna. So it
Mhm.
has all that going for it, along with some memorable characters. And then one generation later, Square Enix, they take the lessons they learned from 10, apply it to 13. All of a sudden, 13 is the worst thing Square Enix ever done. Even though they're doing pretty much the same type of game. And the only difference is that I think FF10 came out in 2001, I want to say. And when did FF13 come out? What did that one come out? Final
I think really, yeah,
Fantasy
I think what
13.
Johnny says is what I think. So it's complaints I remember was a long tutorial opening stages, but that was a Western complaint mostly.
Okay,
The
so
mhm.
okay, so I got the dates. I'm checking to make sure. All right, so Final Fantasy 10 came out in 2001. People love it. 8 years later, Final Fantasy 13 comes out in 2009, and it is crapped on. So in that
I
eight,
don't know.
so in 8 years, the practically the same type of design games. Like obviously, there's gonna be different mechanics in terms of the actual RPG elements. So I'll give it that. Their combat system is not exactly the same. There's no dress spheres in 13, but at its core, they're very similar games at their core. And somehow within those 8 years, I remember 13 being, like I said, the downfall of Square Enix. Square Enix lost their touch. They'll never make a good Final Fantasy game again.
Then they made Infinite Nico. I mean, Final Fantasy 14.
Which, let's be fair, the initial 14 wasn't good. It had huge problems. It was Realm Reborn
Yep,
that fixed it.
yep. But now it's also get. I from what I heard from my brother, and this is all hearsay. Apparently, 14 is also getting a decline in players,
Well,
which I'm just like, this what kind of happens when you cater to a game or to a gameplay style that's just purely on collecting nice shiny armor, but the next week it's out of fashion.
I mean, hey, look, not everyone can be WoW, all right? And WoW is a.
No, WoW is doing the same thing.
Oh, really? Is WoW losing, like substantially losing their player numbers?
Maybe I don't know, but like really all the things that 14 has been doing is really resemblance to WoW when it comes to dungeoning and like actual gameplay mechanics. There is for an MMO, I don't really see people out in the world. I don't really see them running around doing things, talking to each other. They end up kind of going into the main central hubs, sitting there for God knows what end, and people watching, but not really talking to each other because they're already talking to each other in their own free companies.
And their
And if
Discord
they invite you
channels.
to a free company, which is basically a guild, if they invite you to a guild, they're like, "All right, nice, welcome to the guild. All right, we're gonna leave you now."
You know what? Maybe MMOs were a mistake. Got to pull the plug.
I just think the direction of MMOs is a mistake because I mean, like seriously, like how come that it's literally the whole thing of like people going, oh well, this MMO doesn't respect your time, this one doesn't respect your time, and then they say Final Fantasy 14 respects your time. This is why I play. I'm like, no, it doesn't. If it really respected my time, then why am I waiting 30 to 40 minutes for one story dungeon?
Look, we all can't have RES RESPECT and find out what it means to me. Not all of us have that luxury.
And then also they're like, oh, you should play healer or tank. Like I don't want to. I just wanna
be a DPS. God damn it! I just want to hit things.
I just want to hit things and not think about it so much. Just dodge stuff and not think.
You think I want to be in the back and cast Kuraga for 10 hours? No, I don't.
And then it's just like, well, once when you do the story, and then when you're collecting your armor, it pays off. I'm like, no, it doesn't, because after 3 months of me going through the whole thing of the raids, collecting these armor pieces, 3 months later, once when I finished pendamelding all the stuff, they're like, oh yeah, we have a new patch with a new item level. These items are better than the ones that you previously got from these super hard raids.
But Jack, it gets good though. It gets good. Keep playing. It gets good. Keep playing. That's what it all. You know what? The way the all Laker plays, that's what it all boils down to. Nah, man, you gotta keep playing. It's gonna get good. You're gonna get the good stuff. Just keep playing.
Like literally, it's gone to a point where that is literally all of the dungeoning aspect of the game. It's just going from wall to wall, meaning like just from the point A all the way, trying to get as far as you can, wrangling that 20 to 30 to 50 monsters, beating them all up, going to a mini boss, beating it up, doing it again, and then going to the ending boss, and then it's just a game of just quick time events of you going, oh, gotta dodge this AoE shot. Oh, gotta dodge this other one. Oh, we gotta stack up together. Oh, we gotta do this. Like,
Well, it's a good thing it's a good thing then you stop playing and move on with your life.
Yeah. But then my brother made me, well, not made me, but he convinced me to buy the newest what was it?
What newest expansion?
Yeah, the newest expansion, and I was on my way to get to that new expansion until what happened?
What?
In the middle of my stream, where it was already like, I think an 8-hour stream, I was pretty much dead tired. It was the last quest for the mainline expansion that I was currently in. And then they're like, and for every other story quest, I had a trust system, meaning like I could have played that with the NPCs to progress through the story. But on this last quest, it required me to play with people. And then I'm like, okay, please, for the love of God, maybe this is not that bad. 1 hour wait time. This game respects your time.
Well, you know what game really respects your time and effort?
Warframe.
I was gonna say any other game, but sure, let's go with that.
It is a MMO game where I literally, for a good chunk of time, I left it for years, came back to it, and my items were still viable. My grind was viable.
He put in the time, and he can just retire. You did good, kid. You did good. Just enjoy the show.
This whole episode has just been me ranting again.
And that's why when I eventually play FF13, I want to go into it with in a positive way. Unlike Mr. Negative over here.
I honestly don't think 13 is that bad.
Oh no.
The story.
Oh no, I just meant like you're you're ranting on
Oh,
FF14. Funny in that negative energy. That's like call you Mr. Negative. Yeah, you know,
we gotta have the yin to the yang, because I swear to God, people try to mask whatever problems they have in 14 with like all this positivity shit, and it's like, no, no, you please tell them what they're actually getting into.
tell
Tell
them
them
the
about the
tell them the truth.
tell tell them about the 30 to 40 hours of them having to go through the first expansion, and then of pure fetch quests. And then once when you say, "Oh, but it gets better," okay, sure, sure. Heaven's Ward's pretty good. Stormblood's also good. Same thing with Shadowbringers. But you start to realize throughout that whole time, you haven't really talked to a single damn person. You only played with your friend that is new and has no idea what to do. You're kind of holding their hand, going, just keep walking, just keep running, just keep running, just keep running.
Don't look back. Don't look back or you'll turn to salt. Don't look
Yeah,
back,
just
Jack.
like, just keep running. I got you. I got you. Throughout the whole story. And if you say, "Oh yeah, but we did dungeoning without having to do we did dungeoning with the wait queues." Like, okay, that's great, but did you ever make did your friend ever make a new friend in that queue?
No,
No?
I don't believe
Then my
in
point stands.
I don't believe in friendship. I only believe in allies and conventional and no, not conventional. What's the word I'm looking for? And I only believe in allies and convenient lovers in that order.
It's so weird though. But yeah. MMOs, am I right?
That's why I don't play them. Mostly because I couldn't. Because I did not have that type of internet access when I was a wee lad, so I never got the MMO bug. Now, now I do want to say there was a topic that I've kept that was brought up on X when in regards to Final Fantasy, because I just want to bring it up just to say I want to play 13, and I do, and one day I will. I maybe I could stream it, but then I actually have to get like proper streaming equipment or play the PC
Well, not just that.
or play the PC version, but then I kind of defeat the purpose of me buying the PS3 version.
But not just that.
I just play it on myself then.
Yeah, because there's also the remember the whole thing with like Square Enix for some reason blocking it.
Oh, they block it?
Oh, well, remember whenever we did our recorded shows, I had gameplay of Final Fantasy 13 going through, and you mentioned to me that you had to do something to because it flagged it.
Oh, I completely forgot that was 25 years ago, Jack. That was 25 years ago.
I never forget the transgressions that happened to me. I swear I still haven't forgotten the fact that Batman Arkham Asylum decided to mute my audio because it was playing
the game's OST. The game's
yes.
OST. All because it's all technically all owned by Warner Records. Ugh, it's stupid. It's stupid. But yeah, I should probably then just play the game at own time and let none of y'all see it, so I won't be backseated by going. You're going with that build? Now use this item. Nah, no, go here and grind for 10 hours. Then you'll be ready for the boss.
Why are you spamming Ravager? Why don't you do this? Why don't you keep using Commando, Ravager, Healer, and Support? Why aren't you doing that?
I play the game how I like it, even if it's bad. It's the Aaron Henson style of gameplay. The Eagle Raptor style of play.
I swear. Oh, that reminds me.
What?
I feel... Okay, I've been playing Twilight Princess on my stream recently, and I am feeling like I am channeling Ego Raptor in the sense of like I am honestly, in some cases, looking back at it, I'm like, there is no way that it took me this long to figure this out, but it did.
Now,
It did.
now you think it's because it was more challenging than you expected, or is the streamer brain affecting your skills?
I think it's partially streamer brain because I was talking to chat for the most part, but
Yeah,
even then, I was just like,
that. I mean, granted, I was like maybe 12 or 13, but Twilight Princess at the time, to me that was a far easier game to go through than Ocarina of Time, since again at the time Ocarina was a little bit difficult for me. Not anymore, but that's why I enjoyed Twilight Princess a lot more, because I could actually beat it, and I have to look up where like how to progress through the game. So
mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. So if a 12-year-old can beat it, then yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should blame partially streamer brain. I think you should wholeheartedly blame streamer brain.
No, all is lost. All is lost. I have no brain cells left.
I have
I'm done.
I I
If
have no brain and I must stream.
if you crack open my skull right now and look at my brain, I
It'll,
almost fell.
it will be smooth. You have a
It'll be
smooth brain.
smooth as butter.
No ridges. No ridges
No ridges, no lumps.
except for the one that one's mandatory. But I
That one keeps my Pokemon. That one keeps all of my Pokemon information.
all that relevant Pokemon info. But
Remember?
I'm bringing up Final Fantasy for because not just because of 13, but because there is oh, that says your AM reference didn't go unnoticed. Is that for you or me? AM? Oh wait, no wait, that was for me. I remember now. Thank you. It's been a while since I've even thought about that game, but I got it, Johnny. Thank you. I much appreciate it. All right, but I brought Final Fantasy because this does not represent a large group of people, but it represents an annoyingly small group of people, which one could say is even worse. And
Yep.
it's that I think there's at least one RPG that comes out with it there's one RPG that comes out that plays very traditional, like in that it is a turn-based game and it's really successful and everyone loves it. And yet despite that, there is a group of people who will still complain of how there's no true turn-based RPGs anymore. When it's like, what rock have you been hiding under? If anything, Square Enix shoots them out all the time. They're just not called Final Fantasy. They're either called Bravely Default, or they're called Triangle Strategy, or they're called whatever weird name that I'm sure makes sense in Japanese. No, it most likely doesn't. But you get what I mean. And then add that to games not from Square Enix that are also turn-based RPGs, and I'm sure that's even much more so within the indie game audience. And then it was that someone actually put it down as to why these complaints don't go away, and they figured out it's not because people want these games. No. Is that people want to play those type of games, turn-based combat, but they want them to look like big AAA games, like your Final Fantasies. So they want the old school way of playing with all of the modern bells and whistles, with your ray tracing and your advanced skin textures and hair textures and advanced models.
I see what you mean.
And once someone pointed that out, I'm like, Ah, I see. So it was never about the game. It wasn't about you actually playing those type of games. You just want to pay $60 to $70 for a game that says Final Fantasy and it looks super nice and it played like like the old Final Fantasy games. Which I'm not saying that's not a bad thing to do at all. It's just that where's your priorities? Do you want an actual turn-based game or do you want just a game that looks nice? Because there's tons of games that look nice. so, and because of that, it makes you kind of realize, damn, there is a lot of RPG games that come out, and I've especially noticed this with whenever Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct, and not the ones where Nintendo announces some big games, but you know how there's that common meme that whenever there's a Nintendo Direct, there's guaranteed to be some new farming sim game or another JRPG. Like that's the
Yeah,
meme
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah.
Directs, and I think to myself, when you think about it, just the Switch itself has a tremendous amount of RPGs for actual, especially traditional JRPGs, like for those people to play. A tremendous amount from
Mm-hmm.
from more smaller studios to even some ones from bigger publishers. And yet that's not enough because it's not the new shiny thing that they want to use for their PS5 or their PC. And I'm trying to think of myself, you know, I guess I'm trying to wrap my head around, do people just want the spectacle or do you truly want a actual turn-based RPG?
Spectacle.
Yeah, and I think that's what grinds my gears is that they say one thing but in their heart they mean another. It's my Bible reference for the day.
You know, that reminds me about mainly what funny enough, I'm gonna have to use my brother as an example. So recently he came up to me and talked about, let me see if I can find out the game. Let me see, I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Nope, that is not it. Well, either way, it was some fancy looking turn-based RPG game or JRPG that is not really made by a Japanese company, but
Wait,
has all the aspects of a JRPG.
is this a very recent release game?
Yes, I
Oh,
think so, yes.
is it that the that Expedition 33?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
yeah.
that's brand new. I believe that's a I believe that's a game that's made by former Ubisoft devs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So and like, don't get me wrong, the game looks beautiful and I like the way it looks. But it really goes into that whole aspect as you were saying that it seems like people don't really care too much about the turn-based aspect and they just want the pretty colors because my brother is that type of person where he's like, "Oh, I didn't like this because it's turn-based. I didn't like this Final Fantasy because it's turn-based.
Eh,
I like real-time action." I'm like, "Okay, but
then why'd you buy it?
because he apparently bought 7 because it had that pseudo mix between the two.
Oh, the 7 remake?
Mhm. But apparently he has issues with the fact that it still plays somewhat turn-based.
What at this point, like, does he actually want an RPG or does he want an action game? If he wants an action game, there's Dirge of Cerberus right there, or literally play an action game.
That's what I tell him, but
The city, Final
he
Fantasy Dissidia's right there.
like I'm telling you, it's he's a prime example of the people that are wanting. He's your prime example of what you just described.
Oh man, and I said, and as I said, and they represent a small group of people because for the majority of part, people who enjoy RPGs, unless you really do have a strong preference of one playstyle over another, if you have a working brain, you just won't play the turn-based games or you won't play the real-time action games because you know what you want. You know who you are. You know your tastes
Mm-hmm.
enough to make that decision. But if you generally can enjoy both of them, then like, what's what's the issue here aside from the fact that you know what it is? Like, just use your brother as an example. I bet you what it
Mm-hmm.
is. He wants the Final Fantasy VII game that was built in his head by other people over the years.
Yep. Yep.
That's what it is, and I also bet you he really hoped. Actually, no. Is your brother big into Kingdom Hearts?
No,
Yeah, never mind
not
then.
at all.
Never mind then. I thought it'd be one of the. He would be one of those that section of Square Enix fans that they only care about Kingdom Hearts. They don't give no crap about no Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. They just know they want their Goofy, their Donald, and their Sora, and everything else in between. They don't care about nothing else. They're just here for Kingdom Hearts. But you know what? Respect
Y-
to those people. They waited a long time just for a third game, and they're waiting even longer just for a fourth game.
it reminds me of how he's been trying to get me to play 11, and I will eventually. I will play 11 eventually. I
Isn't
mean,
it?
it does look like a fun MMO to kind of
Well, hold
grind
on.
to.
Isn't
Mm-hmm.
11? Isn't FF11 another MMO?
Yes.
Is it still active?
Yes.
Like officially, or just a bunch of fans?
Officially.
Damn. How the heck?
Yep, and it has updates, regular updates.
Okay, then I'm genuinely surprised. I'm surprised.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
But
I remember 11 being a big hit when it came out. I'm more surprised that it's still going on, but I'm not surprised that they are supporting it because it was a huge game when it came out. Especially since
yeah.
it was one of those rare console MMOs that actually worked.
Plus that you didn't need at least for the Xbox, you did not need membership to play it online.
Hold on. Yellow says Kingdom Hearts 2 came out when I was 9. I was 24 when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out. Woo, your entire childhood and high school years came and went just so you could play Kingdom Hearts 3 as a mid 20-year-old. It's a good thing you didn't become a YouTuber during that time, or else I don't know. There probably would be a cringe video of you playing Kingdom Hearts 3 and lore dubbing in every video. Or maybe it will be a DSP situation where you're actually not that good, but you trudge along anyway, and people just want to enjoy the what's the word the they want to enjoy the train crash as you play through it. Which by the way, I'm calling it within the next 2 years. I think DSP will finally be done with YouTube because
Oh.
at this point, I watched a small update of what's going on with him. At this point, he is literally barely being funded by his biggest whales and no one else.
Oh.
He has burned so many bridges over the years. Even when he built a new bridge, he burned it on his way out. And I'm just calling it. He will live this year, but I'm calling it next year. That's when finally the tale of DSP will end, and I look forward to that 9-hour documentary.
Oh. Speaking of burning bridges, so this is a bit off topic from the gaming stuff,
Uh
but
huh.
so I found out recently, and I made a tweet about it because I could not stop myself from more or less gloating, boasting, whatever is the equivalent, because So it recently came out that a famous corporate VTuber got into some drama. The
Now before you start,
Mhm.
does this have to do with one that rhymes with Ember?
Yeah.
Okay, so before you go on start, because I am aware of the story, and quite frankly, I could care less. No,
Mhm.
I want to correct my grammar. I could not care less. That's how little I care about that story. So, what
Mhm.
I would like for you is to kind of not explain it in layman's terms, but tell me explain to me as someone who is not aware of VTubing or someone who is barely has a foot on it, why this controversy why not that we should care, but why is it interesting in the first place? Besides just the fact that it's some has some mild scandalous e drama.
Well, thank you, but I was about to get to that because I was going to skip a lot of things.
Okay, appreciate it.
Uh, because again, I also don't care. I only care about one thing I said. That is basically the whole thing.
Oh,
In layman's
oh, go ahead.
but in layman's terms, uh, the this VTuber was doing the equivalent of corporate sabotage, but to her own members, like to her own peers, by claiming a specific artist to do only things for her and all that good stuff, and then it came out like a giant list of who she hurt, basically backstabbed, and in the same sense, burned bridges. Now, here is the thing that I really wanted to talk about.
All right.
I remembered one time whenever so Gamer Subs came out with this whole thing called V Card. It was a trading card game with VTubers on it, and I was like, I even talked about it on stream. One of my favorite things I said was, you know, I think this is a very cool concept. I like this idea. But what would happen if there's like drama
Oh.
and someone in this whole thing gets canceled? Like
I
just they
see.
get canceled, and like wouldn't this make this trading card game age like spoiled milk?
Or fun.
And look what happened months later.
Well, no one wants her V card. Well,
Yeah.
hold on. Wait, hold on.
I was
Wait, hold on.
yeah.
Wait. Wrong one. There you go.
Both were viable. But I was even like wondering what would happen. So I went and looked in eBay. There is so many new listings for her items.
Everyone's got to get rid of her merch because she turned out to be Alex. Well, wait, I forget. No, it was no, I forget who cheated on who or what. You know what? Doesn't matter. They're both whores. There you go. I said it.
And this one, I think it's just being scummy.
Hey, you can be both.
But yeah, basically, and I've been just seeing the dumpster fire, going to myself, I was right. I was right.
You're like, I called it.
Because it like no knowing how the VTuber platform, because I'm not even gonna call it community, the platform is, it seems like there's always like just this one person out of the week that will just turn out that they are kind of scummy in some aspect.
uh, I'm definitely sure it's not. It obviously does not apply to every successful VTuber. It does not. It's just funny with the frequent of these type of controversies that arise. It makes it seem like, man, it's like, have many of you actually were successful through actual effort? y'all gotta be doing shenanigans behind the scenes. You know,
Yep.
and like I said, it makes it seem that way. That definitely is not the case. A majority of VTubers earn their, they earn their way to the top through their efforts and through their creativity and boatload of money. Let's be real. But
Correct.
it's still hard work, and it's just so funny that there's always gotta be a few that come out and be like, no, so we did this thing in our past life, but I'm sorry, or we did this other thing like 2 months ago, and I'm sorry. And then when they do something really egregious, all right, time to disappear, and then in 3 months they'll come back as an entirely different person. The VTubing business is the only one that you can that in a electronical way. No, yes, actually, the VTubing business is the only way in which I can believe in electronic reincarnation.
Yeah.
Because these people don't go away. Some of them do, but for the most part, they disappear and they come back with a whole different body, but it's still the same soul, the same heart, and the same voice filter.
And it's like what Johnny says right here. VTubing attracts a certain type of people. Let's just be honest, a type of people that don't go outside much and don't know how to people very well.
And he is entirely correct.
Yeah,
let's be real. Yeah, that is be real. There, VTubing is for a certain audience.
And like the thing is too, especially with the type of people that. Okay, I'm not gonna judge them too badly, but like
I'll judge the whales.
The company that they were affiliated with, and then the type of persona they personified. Yeah,
rule number
with that type of persona.
Rule number one. Number one. Don't be a pretend whore if you're an actual whore, and don't have some tickle bitties.
I'm just like, I'm not saying everyone needs to be saintly or anything. It's just that
no, you gotta be
I'm usually cautious
when
it comes to.
Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm usually cautious when it comes to like hypersexuality in a lot of things.
Get into that Victor. I'll just meet with the job. you gotta.
When's your VTuber model?
When's your debut?
Yeah, when's your debut?
He's gonna have a debut and graduation stream on the same day. Because guess what? It won't be long till he drops an N-bomb, and then he's like, "All right, I'm out, peace." And he will be remembered for years to come as the potential, the one who could have been. Get up, welcome to the stream. Way playing long. I get up early. And you know what? Get it. You want to take it very far. Have a female model so that people will be convinced that there's an actual woman who would stream CVS2 during at 1:00 in the morning, and then when they come in and they hear your deep black voice, they'll be they either will stay or they'll leave immediately because it's not what I wanted. I wanted a real waifu to play CVS2, not this. And then they say a word that you shouldn't say on TV. That's what I don't know. That's what I would do if I have money to waste like that.
Damn right.
I just want to just make regular YouTube videos. That's what I and talk about things I'm actually passionate about. Which, by the way, the Saint Seiya video is now officially at 350 views with 20 likes. So, nice. Like I said, that's. I'm glad that video is gonna be evergreen content for this channel. And once I release the new Spiral video, I'm gonna be relist the other ones so that people can watch the previous, because so they watch the previous, and that'll be more evergreen content. So that's part of my grand planning scheme to make nice YouTube video to make very nice and do videos that you can watch that's not relevant to anything or any period of time. Which actually I want to do a nice shout out to channels that are much bigger than mine, but I still appreciate them. I do want to shout out to the channel Always Nerdy, because I tell you, Jack, I enjoy his content to the simple fact that that man will put the time and effort to talk about the superhero video games and actually like go into the nitty gritty of number one, analyzing the game as a game, and talk about every single aspect of the actual comic influences of the game, and talking up even go through the development history about the game that's at least relevant. Like he goes all out for these videos, and I was like, oh, he's like, you know what? That's why I'm more in need. Yes, they're like hours. They could be an hour, 2 hours long, but you know what? It's worth it. It's worth it. And yes, I actually did see his recent Fantastic Four video, which he's experimenting with more, with more not as dense videos, so something that he can make quickly in between his more bigger stuff. He made one on a Fantastic Four PS1 game, and that was I enjoyed that. It get me thinking. You know what, Ghetto? If there was a way, I would love to play that game with you. If there was a way, I doubt it. I have no idea how we're gonna online play a PS1 game that does no online whatsoever. But if there's a way, and we found a way, I'm calling Mr. Fantastic. I'm calling him. You can be whoever you want. You can't be She-Hulk.
Hey, you can play the play the Fantastic Four and Marvel Rivals.
I mean, yeah, but I want to fight Mole Man. I want to fight Doctor Doom.
Well, I've been really hoping that Doctor Doom would be coming in eventually in Rivals, but
now they got to put in more thick waifus.
Like we're getting Ultron before Doom. I'm like, damn, come on, just give me
exactly thick waifus.
Yeah, damn. Them augments.
Them adamant that adamantium. The adamantium booty. You know what I'm talking about. Oh man. I've not touched Marvel Rivals. Mostly because I've just been playing other different games, so it's just that is just not a high priority for me. And plus, now
I usually play it like once a week to get the missions done, and then that's it.
Yeah, and now with Fatal Fury out and all the other stuff, my other hobbies is like, I mean, I could play Marvel Rivals, or as Ghetto says, or I could just play Marvel vs. Capcom, where you can already play as Doctor Doom. Second.
Yeah, but that means I have to learn combos.
There's combos in Marvel Rivals, just not the fighting game type.
Yeah, there's combos in the sense of like click, click, click.
Exactly.
Click.
And in fighting games, you're just clicking. You're also making clicks, just different types of clicks.
Yes, constantly different types of clicks.
Especially for Marvel vs. Capcom, where everything's running at like 300 miles a second. Go says, "Don't be a coward. Let's go for a ride. Get in here, kid." Oh man. Oh, that also reminds me. I guess I gotta save up and get that Capcom Fighting Collection 2 that I believe comes out next month, so I can finally play officially the Capcom vs. SNK games in Project Justice, and I think a few more that I'm forgetting of that era of late 90s era of Capcom. That would be very, very nice. Very nice.
Very nice, Caesar Chad.
Oh, that's man. You know what, Jack? I was gonna say I should rewatch JoJo, but no, I should read JoJo again. I mean, because
I can't wait for part I think it was part 6, right? Yeah, part 6.
You mean Stone Ocean, like the anime?
Is that part 6? I thought it was part 5. Oh
No,
wait, no, part 5 is the
Vento Ario, Golden Wind. No, the new one is
yeah.
part 7. That's Steel Ball Run. That's the
Yeah, that one. I can't wait for
yeah.
that.
That's the reboot. And oh, sorry. I got if I'm gonna watch Steel Ball Run, I need to actually watch Stone Ocean. Which you know, and I got no excuses now. You know what? I gotta make an effort. I think the only thing I'll have to put on pause is rewatching Ippo. I was gonna pause Ippo so I could watch JoJo Part 6. That's what I had to. You know, that's how I would do it. That's how I would do it, and I'll be able to get through it, and I'll be ready. At least from the anime side. I'll. I think I still have some time before Steel Ball Run the manga of it ever comes is officially translated and distributed in American stores. Oh man. What time is it? What time is it? I see the time. How long we've been
14.
live? How long we've been live? You know what? I think
350.
that no, you 250. For you, 250.
Damn.
That's right. I got deals. Call me Sans because I got them deals. All right, let us go ahead and end our show, and of course we go straight into our announcements. So, Jack, what do you have to announce until the next episode? Hold up, before you say anything, the English
Wow.
Steel Ball Run manga comes next. God dang it, they're already catching up. They already. Well, I mean. Oh no, yeah. Basically, I mean, they still got Jolian, and part 9 is going on right now. I'll never catch up to JoJo. Never mind. I'll give up. I'm not watching. I'm not reading. I'm just gonna stay where I am.
What?
I turned. Nah,
Miss. I was about to say the man that got me to watch JoJo is gonna quit on me.
I quit on everybody.
You know, that you know what? That deserves a you little shit.
No, anything. When just saw that message from Ghetto, all you think is all that money I have to spend just to read the manga, just so I can read it physically and own on my shelves to read it anytime. And I mean, there's always scanlations and all that, but I've kind of moved on from that, to be quite honest. And plus, I don't want to read stuff on my phone. It hurts the eyes. I'm getting old. All right. Go ahead, Jack. Say your announcements.
You gotta use them glasses that protect blue light.
It's not
anyways,
it's not the blue light. It's the size. It's the size of the text and image. It's not the blue light.
Damn. You really are getting old.
Go ahead.
So for me, not much for this week. I know I did a surprise stream on Friday, but I was feeling good on that day, and I'm close to 270. I'm close to there. I'm 268.
Woo!
On my followers on Twitch.
Woo!
Growing quite fast after hitting that 250 mark. So
Woo!
yeah. So yeah, sadly, at least for till Thursday, nothing on my end because I'll be trying to study as much as I can for my final on Thursday.
Woo!
Expect to see me on Friday playing some Twilight Princess. Next week, though, I'm pretty sure next week because we're in the middle of planning it out. Verm and the others. We're gonna do an archipelago run.
Woo!
Oh, hold on. I got you, Johnny.
Ow.
There you go.
Woo.
But oh, he's still awake. Ah. So, yeah, it'll be an archipelago run. Basically, I'll be playing a game. The others will be playing their own games, and our items are randomized inside each other's game. So, for example, let's say you're playing Super Metroid. You go up to a what you think would be the Powerball. No, you get an ocarina. So that's basically what happens. Randomized items shared between different games. It'll be fun. We'll see how we can coordinate to be able to beat our games individually. Mine will be Pokemon, by the way. And that's it.
All right. Thank you very much, Jack. All right. As far as my announcements, um, currently, of course, I am working on the next Spire Blood behind the scenes. Also will be putting out this week the final Daredevil Born Again video, as that will be focused on the final 3 episodes of the season. So that will be concluded, and I'll see what I'll be figuring out what I'll be doing next as far as video content on my solo channel. I will be continuing to stream. I almost said Mark of the Wolves. I'll be continuing to stream City of the Wolves, and I actually want to make the effort to stream that at least a few times a week. Nothing daily, but I want to be able to not lose the progression and the skills in between sessions, because I know myself that if I play a fighting game and then I don't touch it after a whole week, I ain't gonna get better. So luckily you'll be seeing more streaming content from me on my solo channel, as I will be going through the rank of Sea of the Wolves, and as well playing different characters, experimenting, see who I like or who I don't like, and so forth. So that will be the content I will be putting out on my solo channel. And again, the next big video is the next Spider Blood. And with that, thank you very much for watching episode 211 of the JAC Show. We appreciate everyone joining you live, and anyone who's watching this on the replay. You have a good rest of your day and your night, and this is HAC and Jack. Sign off.
Have a good night, everyone.